Hi everyone, this is Noelle from Petitti Garden Centers, and we're off-site in a beautiful vegetable garden. And I just wanted to show you a couple things that have been happening in the garden that you may or may not know about. Today we're going to focus on looking at powdery mildew, and you can see this is a beautiful zucchini plant that's grown up, and they are very, very prevalent to white, kind of fuzzy looking powdery mildew disease, okay? The best thing that what we normally talk about is we talk about, oh, you have powdery mildew, you go ahead and you take a copper fungicide spray, which is very safe to use out in the garden. It is considered to be a natural curative for powdery mildew and other diseases, and you go ahead and spray it. But before I do that, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about other things you could do culturally to reduce powdery mildew. So one of the things is when you're planting your plants in the springtime, make sure you give them enough space. So zucchini plants can get very, very large, can grow very quickly. And so giving them space to let air flow through them is really, really important. The other thing that you can do is try to keep your garden weed free. And this garden is beautiful. It is absolutely weed free. But what happens is that the weeds can also reduce the actual overall health of your plant material. They can bring in pests. And so sometimes disease can increase because those weeds are around. So make sure you're weeding as often as possible as well. Another thing that we like to talk about is watering. When you water, you want to water in the mornings if you can. Water deeply and thoroughly. I've talked about this before, where you want to make sure that root system of the plant is moving down into the soil as best you can, okay? Now, for spraying copper fungicide, there's many, many products that are copper soap based. So whatever product works for you best, or whatever you're available to find, do look at the active ingredient. So usually on the label, it'll tell you the percentage of the copper soap that's active in this. So look for your best percentage, okay? When you spray your copper fungicides or copper soaps, what you're gonna find is they actually, you want to do it about once every 7 to 10 days. There's a kind of window right in there. And normally when I spray, I try not to spray during the heat of the day when there's a lot of sun, a lot of heat. I'll try to do it in the evening and cover that plant material, okay? The other thing that you need to know about any fungicide, it doesn't matter if it's copper, it could be funginal, it could be a lot of different types of fungal controls. What you need to know is they are always better as a preventative than they are as a curative. Yes, they will reduce powdery mildew in the garden, no problem whatsoever. However, if you can catch it a little bit earlier, knowing that your zucchini is probably going to get powdery mildew, because usually it does, try to spray that plant material about a week or two before you start seeing that type of disease occur. And so that's why it's nice to keep a garden calendar, keep notes from year to year, so you see, oh my gosh, the powdery mildew is going to come up on the zucchini in a week. That means I'm going to spray it now before it even starts, okay? So we're going to start spraying this, and what you need to know about spraying fungicides is that you want to cover the top and the bottom of the plant. So you're going to head and you're going to do a liberal spraying all through the plant. Make sure you're covering both surfaces. That's really important. That's important for fungal disease and also the stems too, because you'll notice on zucchini, stems can get quite a bit of disease on them too. And then once you're finished, that's fine. Go ahead and let it dry on. Again, you have that 7-day window. If it rains by chance, guess what? You kind of wash everything off and you've got to start over again. So you're going to start that spray again, and then you have that 7 to 10 day window before you need to spray as well, okay? So that's basically powdery mildew on zucchini using a copper fungicide. Very, very easy to use, very safe to use in the garden. Enjoy.